Good evening, students. So today we are going to start with our last part of this Microsoft Word 2016. So in our previous class, we have seen how we can do the mail merge in Word 2016. So basically, the mail merge process includes two steps. First one is creating the main document, and the second step is data source. So basically these are the two parts you can say that include in this mail merge process. So the main document is basically the letter or whatever with the invitation letter or whatever with the document you are creating. So all that information will be written in this document, while this data source will contain the information about the recipient. That means to whom we are going to send this particular letter. So this data source contains that information, and it must that basically it is used to add those information in our document. In the mail merge process, so basically there were two things that we used to do. First one was form letter, that is creating this document part, this one with data source, and second one was labels. That is how we can arrange labels, like whenever you are sending some invitation to your near ones or dear ones or relatives, so you would generally put a name slip on the envelope. So this help us to create those and those name slips on the envelope, while this process help us to write the letter. So we have seen that this particular process contains 6 steps. So first one was selecting the document type. That means whether we are writing, whether we are using this mail merge process for creating a letter, envelope, or these labels or other things like email. So first we select that document. Then in step 2, we select the starting document. So that starting document, it might be the current document or some existing template or a document that has been already saved. So we can select any of those three documents, that is the current one or a template or a previously saved document. Then in the third step, we select the recipient list. So in this step, we have seen that we can go for this recipient list in two ways. First, either using the existing list. So in this step, what we have done is we have selected that existing list by browsing to the computer and then select it over there, and whatever the numbers of users over there, so those will be used as recipient. While in the second way was creating a new list. So in this, we have created a new list. We have clicked on create a new list, and there was a dialog box which asked us to enter the details of the recipient, that is their first name, last name, their mobile number or the phone number or their address with the city, zip code, all these information. So we have created a list with the help of these attribute, and that we entered in the dialog box that was popped up on clicking on this create a new list. After completing this step, that is selecting the recipient list, then we have written our letter. Then we have saved the letter, that is where we want to put the address of the user to whom we are addressing this letter, and where we want to add our the invitation letter, that is the proper writing of that letter, including that this is the functions and you are cordially invited and blah blah. So that we have written in this right letter. And in step 5, we have seen the preview of the letter, that how it is now looked like, because while we were writing the letter, So this information was replaced by some macro which look like this address block. So this address block means that it will display the complete details that has been selected while choosing the address. So that information generally contains the first name, last name with the title of the user and their complete address. So we have seen that these all our attributes are optional, and we can either select all of them or we can just select few of them. So that we have seen in writing the letter, and then when we click on preview, so it displays, I mean it replaces this particular block with the original information. That is, if we have written a letter to Mr. Akash, so it will display as Mr. Akash and then his address like 123 GT Road, Delhi, something like that. So this particular address block will be replaced with this information. And then at last, at sixth step, we have completed the merge. So in this complete merge process, what we have done is basically we can either save these letters name by name, or we can simply print them, or either we can email them. So this was the step that we have done in our in creating the form letters. Then after writing the form letter, then we have started with our second step, or you can say the second working in this mail merge, that is creating mail merging our label. So in the label part, what we have done is these three steps were common. That is, first we have selected the document type. Over here we have selected it as label. After that we have started the document, that is we have written either we are using the current document or some existing template, or we have previously saved the document. After that, again, now it is the recipient list, which consists either choosing the existing one or creating a new list. So once this recipient part done, then in the fourth step we have arranged our label. So in this step we have selected the layout for our labels. Like we have selected that if this is a page, so we want to print somewhere around 30 labels. So those were arranged in this fashion, and where the first one shows the actual information like the address block, while the other was displaying like next record, which means the same information but for the next user, that would be displayed on this position, and next one also contain next record and so on. And when we then in step 5 we have preview our labels, and when we clicked on this, that is when we go to this step, we have seen that these blocks has been replaced with the original information. So those original information would contain same, like we have selected like Mr. Akash, 123 GT Road, Delhi. This is the first user, so it will be displayed at this position, and then the next user would be here, and then on so and so on. So these were the, and then in the step 6 we have completed the merge. So the merge has been completed either sorry. So either we have saved them as PDF, or we have directly printed them, or we have emailed them. So these are the options that we can select to complete our merge. So that was the things that we have discussed in our previous class. Now let's see some exercise on these topics that we have studied in our Word 2016. So the first question is, the intersection of a column and a row is called. So you can understand that over here we are talking about column and row. That means the question belongs to the table part. So we have seen that this vertical ones are called as columns, while this horizontal one, this one called as rows, and this one called as columns in table. And when this particular column intersect with this row, So then we get generally this particular space. So this box, what we used to call it is, yes, good answer Nitin. So we call it as cell. So the answer of this question is cell. Then we have another question. Table group is present in the tab. So generally, it is not as like we used to write the text. We can simply type. So what we used to do is we used to add it into our document. So that addition part, that is, we are adding some information apart from the text. So we used to get all these things in our insert tab. So apart from table, we used to get over here as clip art, we get shape, we get image. So all this information comes into our insert tab. Then we have this one, which key combination deletes the selected row and column from a table. So as I told you earlier, if we use this shift plus del, so it will remove the content in that selected row or column. But if you want to delete, like if you want to delete this complete row or you want to delete this complete column, so and if you have selected that, so you will press backspace key. So when you press this backspace key, there would be a dialog box that will ask that whether you want to delete this complete cell, whether you want to delete this column, row, etc. So that option you can select. So based on that, we are not getting any of the matching answer. So the answer would be none of these. Then we have is the data item which insert Microsoft Word where to insert the data source information in the main document. So basically merge field we have seen it is a process. So we were doing a merge process in which all these steps we have seen that there would be a main document and there would be a data source. Main document contains the information about the document, that means the letter we are going to write, while this data source contains the information about those users that we want to insert. So basically the answer would be data source, that which information we are going to insert, the where that information would be in data source. Then in the last we have is a row on a data sheet which consists number of fields. So basically it is asking that when you create a table, so let me clear this slide so that it will be clear. So we have seen that the answer of this one was cell, this one was insert, this is none of these, this was data source. And for this, suppose you have this table which contains information about serial number, customer ID and department, let's say. Okay, and we have, let's say, 123 serial number over here. The information is like 101, 201, 203. Department is, let's say, GK, DS or PS. So these are the department, let's say. Now it is asking that what a row basically represents. So by looking into this, we know that this horizontal thing is known as row. So by this, we can assume that this is the information about which that there is a customer ID that is 101 which belongs to which department? GK department. That means it is a information about a customer and it is just displaying us its ID and the department. That means this is what it represents. It is not a field because the field is these particular columns. These are called as field. If we talk about the database, so database means the whole data. That means we can say this whole table, it will be called as a database. And it is asking for spreadsheet. The same thing we can say, like while in the case of database, there would be a possibility that you have multiple tables. So those will be a part of your this database. While a spreadsheet, basically this word comes from Microsoft Excel, where we represent our data in tabular form. So you can think of that. a particular table is called a spreadsheet, a single one. In Excel, a single sheet is called as spreadsheet, while if there are multiple sheets, so those are called as workbook. So out of this we got that this is not the right information and this is also not the correct option. So that means the correct option is record, and it is and surely like it is likely it is displaying a record of a particular customer which consists its ID 101 and belongs to a GK department. So I hope this exercise is clear to you that there are the right answers of all these questions are first one is first one is cell, then table group belong to the insert tab, while the if you want to delete a particular selected row or column, then we have to press backspace key, and if you want to delete the content, then we can press shift delete key. While if we are asking for a data source information, so that is consisted in this data source part, and a row in a database or in a data sheet represents a record. So I hope this exercise is clear to you. So just to addition to this Microsoft Word 2016, so we have some of the tips for you guys so that you can create your document easily and in a faster way. So with the help of these shortcuts, you can create your document easily and in a faster way. Like there is something that you have mistakenly either deleted or you have changed that. So what you can do is you can do undo. That means you can press Ctrl Z key and that particular sentence would be came back. Let's say if I mistakenly I have deleted these words. Okay. Now it was done by mistakenly and I want to get it back. So what I will do is I will press Ctrl Z. So you can see after pressing the Ctrl Z, those words are back. Okay, so you can do undo. While the redo is like you have done the things that was right. Lately you realize that no that was correct and you want to do that again. So you will press Ctrl Y. So that will do the redo. That means the part that you have updated, so that will become again. So I have deleted those two words. I press Ctrl Y and those two words were deleted again. So this is called as redo. Now to save your document, there is a shortcut key Ctrl S. Generally, I told you two steps that first you will go to the file, then you can save from here, or otherwise you can go to your quick access toolbar and you can click on this icon which is generally for save. So rather to go for going every time for the file and then doing save or every time clicking over here, you can simply press Ctrl S. So you can see I press this Ctrl S and it is asking me to save my document. As of now I haven't saved it, that is why it is asking me to save. But if your document is already saved and you make some changes in that, then you can just simply press the Ctrl S and that particular text would be saved. Then we have Control F. Basically it is used to find something in your text. Like it as of now we have just this single paragraph. It might be happen that you are creating a report and in that report you have mistakenly written some word incorrectly, and that word is basically repeated in more than one time in your whole document. So how would you search that? So what you can do is you can simply press Ctrl F and at the left side you will find that there is a navigation bar, and when I press some word that I want to search, let's say I am searching for text. So you can check there are two results. It is displaying me that there are two results for that search which belongs to that first one is over here and second one is here. So if I press on this one, so you can see that it is displaying me this one that you can write over here. When I click on this, so you can check that my keyboard is coming over here. So this helps you to identify that where are the that particular word you have written mistakenly and you want to make some changes. So you can do that with the help of this. Then we have next one. So then we have another one is Control plus Enter for next page. That means if you want to jump from the current page to the next page, then you can just press Control Enter. So you can see as of now my cursor is at the beginning of the line, and I just press Control Enter, and now it is taking me to the next page. You can see that first page is blank and the whole text has been shifted to the next page. Just because I have pressed the Control Enter, so it has shifted my cursor with all the text to the next page. So for that you can use Control Enter. If you want to print your document, so you can simply press Control P. So a printing dialog box would be popped up and it will ask you to select your printer. As of now I don't have any connected printer, so it is giving me these options, so I can select any of that. Later if I want to create it as a PDF printer, so I can select this one and it will make it as a PDF. And over the right side you will get that how your document would look like. And if you want to do some setup thing, that means if you want to modify its margin and all, so you can simply click on this page setup, and once you will click on it, so this information will consist of all the settings that you can do on your page for the printing. So that settings you can do, like as of now it is showing that orientation is portrait. If I select this landscape and press OK, so you can see now my document is increased in width while its height is now less as compared to the previous one. So it is your landscape format. So you can also check over here. Now it is displaying some different orientation. So this all you can apply with the help of Control P. Then these all shortcuts are just to format your text. So basically these are the most useful, you can say, because most of the time when we are writing our report, it happens that we have to make changes, we have to bold some text, we have to make some text in a different italic format, we have to underline some specific text in our reports or in our assignment. So rather to every time select those texts and go to the on this that we have discussed about this, that this particular thing is called as ribbon. We have studied in previously, and this ribbon this is called as group. So these are the group commands for different uses. So in that we have seen that either you can make your text bold with the help of this, you can italic with the help of this, and you can underline with the help of this. But what you have to do is every time you have to select the text, and then you have to every time move your cursor. So it will take some time. So the best is you can just press Control B, so you can see that your text is bold. If you want to make it italic, you have to simply press Control I, and you can see now the text is coming as italic. If you want to do it as underline, so you can press Control U and the text would be underlined. So these are the shortcuts to help you to format your text. That if you want to make it bold, so simply press Control B. If you want to create it in an italic form, so press Control I. If you want to underline some of the text, then you can press Control U. So you have to simply select the text and then you can press these commands to perform these operations. Then another one are the formatting, that is arranging your text so that it looks better for your report. Like as of now you can see that my text is aligned to the left. So you what does mean is you can see that at the left side the margin for all the lines is common, while the margin on right side is different on each line. So to make this, there are 4 things. So these formattings are over here. This is called text justified. So these setting is there. This one is for left, this one is for center, this one for right, and this one is for justified. So let's see how this setting works. So basically when we the first one is already coming to you, it is the default one, that is the left one. So this one is default, but if I select the text and if I press this center one, so you can select now my whole text is coming in center. Okay, And if I go to over here, that is for right. So you can see now from the right side, it has common margin, or you can say in a same fashion, while on the left side it is in different. And while if I go to this one, that is justified, so you can see now from left and both the side, that is from left and right, now it is in a formatted way and it is looking nice. So for these we have shortcuts like if you press Control L, then it would be for left. If you press Control E, then it would be in center. If you press Control R, then it would be for right. And if you press Control J, then it would be for justify. So these are some, common and useful shortcut keys that help you in creating your report in faster way. And there is one more shortcut that was not there, and that is help you to save your document in different format. We have seen is save as functionality when we were studying this word. So we have seen that we can save our document in different formats as well. What we have to do is we have to go to file and then we have to click on this save. So it will help us to create to save our document either in different formats or with different names. So that also can be done with the help of this shortcut key. So if you press F12, so like I press, so there would be same dialog box would be open, and either I can provide any of the name, the different name that I want to give, or I can select any of the different format in which I want to save my document. So this helps you to create multiple copies in a faster way, because every time otherwise you have to go to this file and then you have to press save as, and then so it is kind of three-step process. Over here it is just a two-step process. Simply press F12, that pop-up would be there, and then you can save your document wherever you. I hope this class was very useful to you. And if you have any queries, any questions, or any doubts, or anything related to the Word 2016, write us on Learn Forward app, and you can post your queries. We will definitely answer, and we will love to hear from you guys. How are you, enjoying these classes? Your feedbacks, and if there is something that you want extra on these classes, so we will definitely work on that. So keep posting, keep learning, and be safe, because still the COVID is there. So stay safe, guys. Have a good day. Thank you. Good night, guys.